Nation, you've made it to Friday! TGIF edition of the show, hottest show in the streets, the weekend, making it into Memorial Day. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you all in here on a Friday, bringing this weekend in correctly. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. You hit that subscribe button. You smash subscribe right now. You get in, you get locked on, you get involved. Number one ticket here for Tide football. You hit the like button as well. Smash the like button. Hit that thumbs up. Raise those like levels up for us. We appreciate that. The daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. Also hit that notification bell so you miss nothing when it comes down to your Tide football. We got a lot to get into tonight. Jaylen Milroe heading to the Manning Passing Academy. He's taking this offseason seriously and wanting to become complete quarterback. We got to get into that. You look at, of all the positions on the roster, there's one in particular that's head over heels excited to have Jaylen Dippre as the head coach because what he has done for this position in question in his recent coaching stops prior to Alabama. We'll talk about that. And then last but not least, are there trap games? Are there games on this schedule that Alabama fans cannot afford to overlook? We get all of that and more, plus your phone calls, 205-448-1358. For number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you, but without further ado, Eli, let's hop into it. Topic number one, Jaylen Milroe heading to the Manning Passing Academy. News came out today. The Passing Academy will be from June 26th to June 30th in Louisiana. We're talking about football royalty, the first family of football royalty, the Manning family. Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Cooper Manning, though Cooper didn't get a chance to play college football due to spinal stenosis, if you will. Did not have a chance to play in the National Football League as well. But you have Archie Manning, Eli, Peyton, Cooper, the entire football family, the Manning Passing Academy, June 26th to June 30th. Jaylen Milroe is headed to this event, and he has the incredible opportunity to show the world he's a complete quarterback. He has an incredible opportunity to show the world he is a complete playmaker. He has this incredible opportunity to show the world going into this upcoming season that he's a bad man, not just a bad man, but he's ready to lead this Alabama football program to a national championship in the college football playoff. Milroe has worked his tail off all off-season to this point, prior to summer classes starting. He's been training with Joe Murphy down there in Florida. He's gotten with Jordan Palmer, younger brother of former NFL quarterback Carson Palmer. Jordan Palmer's a quarterback coach, one of the best private QB coaches out there. If you look at the guys that have played in the NFL, still in the National Football League, that Palmer has worked with, we're talking about guys such as Cam Newton, guys such as Patrick Mahomes, guys such as Joe Burrow. I mean, the list goes on. Jordan Palmer, guys such as Deshaun Watson. Jordan Palmer has worked with a lot of big-time guys. And now he's got his hands on Milroe. And if you're watching the video on screen, Look how much better he looks throwing this football. Look how much more comfortable, confident, pristine, the footwork, the eyes, the arm motion locked in. Look at how much better Jaylen Milroe looks, the ball coming out of his hands. Look how much better the feet, the eyes, the arms, the hands, they're all tied in, Eli. They're all in sync passing this football. He looks better. Looks a whole lot better. I mean, you could tell in moments last year, the mechanics not all there with Milroe, but we're seeing a young man that not just says, I'm going to put the work in. He does it, Eli. He does it. He puts the corresponding action to it. Whether it's in Tampa, Florida with Yo Murphy, whether it's with Jordan Palmer out there in California, he's out there putting in the work. Look how much more fluid he is passing the football out here. I'm telling you, folks, this upcoming season in this offense, Jaylen Milroe is about to really shock some people with how complete of a player he's going to be on the field. Every accolade he wants is right there. If he wants the Heisman Trophy, it's right there for him to get. If he wants first team All-SEC, first team All-American, it's right there for him to get. If he wants the Davey O'Brien Award, the Maxwell Award, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, the Manning Award, any major quarterback award out there, if he wants it, it's right there for him to get. If he's trying to be a first-round draft pick in the 2025 venue for the National Football League, it's right there. We know ultimately winning a national championship is the first thing on that list of accolades when you talk Jaylen Milroe, but the work this guy's put in this offseason. And when you look at the Manning Passing Academy, it's done well for Alabama quarterbacks in the past. You look at A.J. McCarron. He went to the Manning Passing Academy. McCarron, a two-time national championship starting quarterback, 2011 and 2012. You think about Jalen Hurts. He went to the Manning Passing Academy. National champion in 2017. Was the first true freshman of the Nick Saban era to start at Alabama in 2016. And if you look at Bryce Young, he goes down to the Manning Passing Academy. 2021, Bryce Young becomes the first quarterback in school history to win the Heisman Trophy. That year, Bryce, 4,872 passing yards, 50 total touchdowns, led Alabama to SEC championship and college football playoff national championship game appearance. So the Manning Passing Academy, we have seen Alabama quarterbacks go and have had huge success following. Here is Jaylen Milroe. He gets this invitation to go down to Louisiana to get with the family of football royalty, the Manning family, to work with them in this academy. Big here for Milroe. He goes down there, puts on a show, that hype train, start building there. He goes down there, puts on a show. More and more people are going to start to feel like maybe the Heisman Trophy for Milroe is not an insane idea. Maybe Milroe becoming a first-round pick in the 2025 draft, not an insane idea. Maybe Milroe taking home some of these individual quarterback accolades, not an insane idea. But June 26th through the 30th, the Manning Passing Academy, Milroe will be there. We'll take our first break on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. When we get back, we go on the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. What do you feel about? How do you think about? How do you feel about Milroe at the Manning Passing Academy? What does this mean to you? We'll get your thoughts after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football Package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back into the action from the break. Number one ticket for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, on a fantastic Friday. Definitely want to give my thoughts to all of our brave men and women, veterans out there fighting for our country, protecting our rights as American U.S. citizens. Definitely want to give a condolence to, and our thoughts out to fallen men and women protecting our country, but lost their lives and fighting for our country, protecting our rights. That's what Memorial Day is about. Honoring those brave men and women that fell in the heat of battle, trying to make sure that our rights as American citizens are protected and provided for. And definitely want to take this weekend, going into Memorial Day, and honoring veterans, those who are still with us in the land of the living. Appreciate them, value them, visit them, speak to them, learn them, get to know them. And those who have lost their lives, pray for their families, encourage their families, help their families. Absolutely. So definitely want to show some appreciation here to our outstanding veterans. But before we get into the phone lines open to grab your calls, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. Got a cool call topic here, Eli. So, five-star wide receiver Ryan Williams, whom everybody is tickled pink, excited to see him get on campus, compete for a starting job at the University of Alabama as a freshman. Most highly anticipated receiver to come from this state since Julio Jones in 2008. Ryan Williams on yesterday graduated from Saraland High School. You see him right there in his cap and gown on screen. His high school football career is over. High school tenure is over. He's completed that chapter of his life. It's now Hollywood Williams coming on campus. Now Hollywood Williams coming to the University of Alabama, where he's going to have that chance to compete for a starting spot here in the wide receiver room. He's got the talent, has the skill set. Jaylen Milroe mentioned a while back, we're going to play the best players. It doesn't matter what your age is. Doesn't matter what your classification is. If you are that dude and you can help this program with a championship, Jaylen Milroe is going to put you on the field. Ryan Williams, two-time Mr. Football in the state of Alabama. Ryan Williams so good that he reclassified from the 2025 class to the 2024 class to come out early. Ryan Williams so good that he nearly took Saraland to a Class 6A state championship this past season. He'll be on campus. He'll be on campus quickly. He has graduated high school. Kudos there to the five-star athlete. But take another break right here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we have a fun conversation about, of all the position groups on Alabama's roster, there is one that is over the moon excited to have Jaylen Milroe because what he has done in the past for this position. What positional unit can I be referring to? We'll be back after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, here we go. Locked into the action from the break. Number one form for Bama. Football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine here on a Friday. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio. Continue hitting the subscribe button, smashing the subscribe button, tapping the like button right here on the YouTube channel. Making this your spot, your place for all things Bama football. The daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from you. And topic two of the conversation here, there are a lot of position groups on Alabama's roster for football, but there's one in particular that is over the moon happy to have Jaylen Milroe as its head coach because what Dippre has done specifically for this respective position and how it's been able to produce big time offensively. And the group I'm referring to is the tight end group. Jaylen Milroe loves tight ends. It doesn't matter where he's been in his coaching career, he's been able to get massive production from a tight end group. Massive production. Whether he was at Eastern Michigan, whether he was at Fresno State, Indiana, Washington, even while he was at the NAIA League with Sioux Falls, he was able to get massive production there in the tight end room. And for Alabama, this could be a big year for CJ Dippre. Dippre came in last year, transferred from Maryland. The Terrapins didn't use him much at all. Alabama didn't go to him much at all either last season. Dippre only 11 catches for 187 yards. With the 6'5", 257-pounder, he has the skill set and the ability to be very dynamic for Alabama. Like, he can explode in this offense. He really could. He really could explode in this offense. Especially when you look at the guys that Jaylen Milroe has produced big numbers for with his offense when you talk these tight ends. So as you look on screen here, when Jaylen Milroe was at Eastern Michigan, he had Tyrese Russell, who produced big numbers. He had Cody Tuttle, who produced big numbers. He had Sam Browning, that produced big numbers. He had Nigel Kirby, who had just a monster freshman year at Eastern Michigan. Produced big numbers. I mean, he even had Sam, Sam Bushman? You got Sam Browning. You got Sam, let's see here. We had Sam Bushman, trying to see here. We had Dan Bushman, my bad. We had Dan Bushman, my bad there, that had a big year at Eastern Michigan. Then, when you go to Fresno State, when he was an offensive coordinator, he had Jared Rice, who had success there. He had Peyton Hendershot, who had success there. Well, yeah, Peyton Hendershot had success there. And then when you look at Washington, you had guys like Jack Westover. You had Devin Culp, who ended up getting drafted. You had Josh Cubis, whom we had last year. So, I mean, Jaylen Milroe has been able to take tight ends, that group, that position right there, and get big, big numbers out of it. He's been able to take tight ends and get marquee production from them. That list of names on screen, all of these guys worked with Coach Dippre, and Coach Dippre produced wonders with them. So now when you look at CJ Dippre looks at this and goes, hey, if those guys can ball, and I got a bit more talent than those guys, if not more, I should be able to have a huge role in this offense, right? Because you think about it. In the early part of the Nick Saban era, the tight ends had say, right? If you go back and you look at those national championship teams under Nick Saban, 2009 Eli was Colin Peak. He had a good year. Remember, Colin Peak in 2009, he had the over-the-shoulder touchdown catch in the SEC championship game against Florida from Greg McElroy. Colin Peak was good. 2011, who all remembers Brad Smelly? I mean, cool name for a tight end, but Brad Smelly was really good. I think that 2011 year, Eli, what Brad Smelly had 4 to 5 touchdown catches? Smelly was utilized. 2012, we all remember Michael Williams. He had 4 touchdown catches that year. One of those came, I believe, in the 2013 BCS National Championship against Notre Dame. 2015, we all know O.J. Howard, who was heavily underutilized that year into the college football playoff for Lane Kiffin, finally wanted to pop him out there. And what happened against Clemson? O.J. had 5 catches for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Clemson had nothing to do with him. Just saying. 2017, Irv Smith Jr. helped Alabama to a national championship. 2020, Miller Forrestall helping Mac Jones get Alabama to a national championship. Bama has had one, if not multiple, tight ends have success here. Jaylen Milroe loves tight ends, utilizes them, gets the ball in their hands. For CJ Dippre, this could be a big year for him. I look at Danny Lewis Jr. as well. You got Josh Cuevas, who followed Dippre from Washington to Bama. Ty Lockwood is in this room. Robbie Oots is in this room. Jay Lindsey's in this room. You got some tight ends in this room. But I think CJ Dippre has the biggest chance to really, really do something in this room based off what Dippre has done with tight ends. We're going to take another break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines. We're going to get more of your calls, more of your thoughts. We're going to have a conversation with you. Line us up right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, here we go. Here we go. Back to the action from the break. Number one ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got to appreciate our veterans. Memorial Day, Monday of next week. Of course, remembering all of our fallen veterans as well. Men and women who bravely fight to protect the rights of our country, our nation. As American citizens, we thank all of you. We value all of you. We appreciate all of you. 205-448-1358 for number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. Thanks to all of you guys getting yourself prepared to call in here. But as you're doing so, call topic Eli. So Alabama softball got back to the regionals. Now they're in the super regionals. Patrick Murphy and the girls, they lost today 3-2 to Tennessee in the supers. Game 2 is tomorrow. The supers, it's best of 3. So definitely want to see Alabama take care of Tennessee in back-to-back games to move on. So see what happens there. But lost to Tennessee today. Hopefully Team 28 can get the win tomorrow and get one more win to move on to the next round here of the Super. So shouts out there to Alabama softball. Go to our final break here, folks. We'll touch that down when we get back. Are there potential trap game on Alabama's schedule? Are there opponents fans should not be overlooking? We'll wrap things up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, No networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, here we go. Here we go. Back into the action. From the break on a Friday, TGIF edition of the show. Appreciate you guys rocking with us here on a Friday. Continue tapping that subscribe button, hitting that like button, hitting the notification bell, making sure you're missing absolutely nothing when it comes down to your Alabama football coverage. Eli, we get into the final topic here of conversation. Does Bama have any trap games on the schedule? Any games where, if you're a fan, you can't afford to overlook these teams, these opponents? Of course, Alabama does not play Ole Miss. It doesn't play Mississippi State. It doesn't play Arkansas. It doesn't play Texas A&M this year. Eli, I don't know how I feel about that because it's like you're missing a family member, you know? You don't play Ole Miss. You don't play Mississippi State. You don't play Arkansas, and I enjoyed the good pig roast, and you don't play A&M. So it's kind of weird. But of the games you do have on schedule, people expect the Georgia game to be good. People expect Tennessee game to be good. People expect LSU game to be good. People expect Iron Bowl to be the Iron Bowl. However, there are some trap games here for Jaylen Milroe in his first season coaching Alabama football. And when I look at these trap games, I see three of them. And the three that I see Wisconsin, Missouri, and Oklahoma. Those are my three trap games. They're trap games for two reasons. Number one is a lot of people are just expecting Alabama to just run all over these three teams. And then you look at where these three teams are on the schedule. Make them a trap game. Starting this off here with Wisconsin, the Badgers in year two under Luke Fickell, here, this team will be the first major road test for Alabama. You go to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. This will be an 11 a.m. kickoff. You got Fox Big Noon doing the game. This is the first road matchup of the Jaylen Milroe era. Wisconsin is going to be up for this football game. The Badgers are going to be out. They're going to be up. They're going to be ready to play. And they got dudes. They got dudes offensively. They got dudes defensively that will create pressure to Jaylen Milroe. They got dudes offensively that can catch the football, that can make plays, that can get up and down the field. This is going to be a very intriguing matchup out the gate, right out the gate. The first two games for Alabama, you got Western Kentucky at home, and then you got South Florida at home. And then week three, boom, you're on the road. First major road trip of the Jaylen Milroe era. I know people are expecting this Badger roster not to be good, but Alabama can't afford to go into Camp Randall Stadium overlooking Wisconsin. It can't afford to go on the road in its first major road test in the Jaylen Milroe era and not take the Badgers seriously. Can't afford to do that. That's number one, Wisconsin. It's your trap game right there, especially with it being an early morning kickoff. Number two, Missouri. Reason why Missouri is one, Eli Drinkwitz has Missouri on everybody's radar. Drinkwitz has been the head coach since 2020. His first year they went 5-5, but next 2 years they go 6-7 both times. Last year, the Tigers broke through. 11-2 were the wins, 14-3 victory over Ohio State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Now, I don't know if that year was just due to everything fell in place for Missouri. They caught the opponents at the right time. Players just stepped up. It was just an all-around feel-good type year. Or was it a year to open us up to Missouri's the real deal for real in the SEC? We'll get more of that this season to see, is Missouri the real deal? But the Tigers, they got their quarterback coming back, Brady Cook. They got a very good wide receiver, Luther Burden III. He's coming back. They got a ton of guys on defense that can ball, including a very good secondary. And you look at where Missouri is on the schedule, guys. And I know it's a home game, but it's sandwiched in between two road games. It's sandwiched in between Tennessee and LSU. That's why Missouri's a trap. It's sandwiched in between two road games, Tennessee and LSU. Alabama is going to be so amped to play the Vols and the Tigers. Why? The last time Alabama played both schools on the road, they lost both games. 2022 with Bryce Young at quarterback. Eli, you were at the game at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. 2022. Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs did everything they could that game, but it wasn't enough. Alabama's defense could not stop Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt. And you lose 49-52 at Neyland. And Josh Heupel got a chance to smoke cigars. Tennessee fans took down the goalpost. They threw the CBS camera in the ocean. The fines came out. Tennessee said, bump that. We'll write the check. We just beat Saban. We'll pay the check. Don't matter. We beat Saban. Right? Tennessee fans finally feel like we can hang with Alabama. We can run with Alabama. We can beat Alabama. We took down Nick Saban in his second to final year in Tuscaloosa with the Crimson Tide. Bama's going to be amped to get to Neyland and beat down Tennessee. And then you got LSU. You lost to Brian Kelly 31-32 in overtime at Tiger Stadium. You lost to Jayden Daniels down there. Alabama's going to be amped to go down the Death Valley and whoop up on LSU. Does it become so focused on those two games that it loses sight of Missouri in the middle at home? It overlooks the Tigers, and Eli Drinkwitz comes to Tuscaloosa with a very confident bunch after an 11-2 season the previous year, and they win. Bama can't afford to overlook Mizzou. That's a trap. Mizzou is good. Eli Drinkwitz has got everybody's attention. You look at Missouri. Can't afford to overlook Mizzou. Last but not least here, Oklahoma. The Sooners' first year in the SEC. They finished 10-3 last year under Brent Venables. 10-3. This is an Oklahoma team that wants to show they can hang in the Southeastern Conference. And much like Missouri, look at where this game is sandwiched, y'all. You got to play Mercer at home in Tuscaloosa. You got Auburn at home in Tuscaloosa. But what's that game in the middle of those two? Oklahoma. You got to go to Norman. You got to travel to Norman and that atmosphere to play the Sooners. And a Sooner team, they got a lot coming back. Yes, they lost Dylan Gabriel, their quarterback, who hit the transfer portal, got another year. He's at Oregon now. They got weapons at running back. They got weapons at wide receiver. They got guys back on defense. Here's another team you cannot afford to overlook. If you're king in the board in Alabama, you cannot afford to overlook the Sooners. They're going to host you. They're going to have a spirited crowd on hand. First year in the SEC. They got something they want to prove. This is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Those are my 3 trap games, though. Wisconsin, Missouri, Oklahoma. People expect Georgia game to be good. People expect Tennessee, LSU to be good. People expect Auburn to the Iron Bowl. But where the Wisconsin game is placed, where the Missouri game is placed, where the Oklahoma game is placed, Alabama can't afford to overlook these teams. These 3 are potential traps because all 3 teams, they've got talent. All 3 teams have good coaching. All 3 teams will play Alabama with something to prove. I cannot afford to overlook any of those 3. As always, Tide Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Want to appreciate all of you, the Bama fans, for showing us love here on the show, helping us out this evening, getting this weekend started off correctly. Want to thank you, appreciate all of you. Be sure to continue to subscribe to TouchdownAlabama.com. That's TouchdownAlabama.com. We got you in all areas, recruiting, transfer portal recruiting, freshman recruiting. We got you right there. We got you where the current team is concerned. All types of prospective pieces coming out. We got you where Alabama and the NFL is concerned as well. All exclusive stories we got you taken care of there. And in the Video Hub, subscribe to TDA Plus. Whether it's Steven's Report, the way it is with yours truly, Justin and Dex podcast, all things recruiting. Justin's Recruiting Bites is my guy Justin Smith is taking you on the road, giving you something you've never seen anywhere else. You talk about recruiting, be a part of that TDA Plus Video Hub. We got you right there. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing too. Not be bored there. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself, you protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Steven Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.